Alright, let's look at the objective cards here. You're going to have to deal out objective cards to each player. So the first thing you got to do is you got to deal out a group objective, and then you got to deal out secret objectives. So if you look at the tabs here, there's the objective card descriptions right here, and you can go in and see each one, and they're color coded or they have the graphic associated with each one. So there's also, if you go into your macros and decks and rollable tables, you can show and hide the objective deck. So when you first do this, you can show that and then deal it out. And let me show you how you deal that out. So here's the objectives card. Let's say for easiness sake, you're going to play with 4 players. So we're going to, you can either press and deal to each of the players. Of course, I'm showing you a tutorial, so I have to play by myself. But you can drag here, and that's for player 1. That's for player 2. That's for player 3. And that's for player 4. Then each player, they're going to select on it, and then they're going to go take card. Or if you've dealt the cards, it'll go to each player, and it's just deal it to myself, and I'll deal 1 card and press deal. If you go in, you can then look at which card you were dealt. Alright, let's just flip these over. So someone has a center hex, someone has a temple, someone has a city-state, and someone has a temple. So you notice that there's 2 temples here. So one of these is the main objective. So let's just say the temple is the main objective. So this person would need a new card now. And so we would go ahead and we would deal them a new card. And so long as they didn't draw a temple again, they'd be fine. However, they would ask for another card, and this time they got castle. So essentially you'll have at least one of each of the cards being played, but you only want one for your main deck. The only one, for instance in this case, is temples, and that's the group objective, the main objective. Everyone else should have a different objective, not the main objective, because you want to have a temple and a castle, a temple and a center hex, a temple and a city-state, for instance. So what this does, and each of the players, there, like I said, they're going to have this hidden in their objective deck here. And then you put this to the side or whatever you want to do, just to make sure that each player knows what they have. And what this does is it actually creates this really unique way of each player, say you're starting over here, they need to start crossing the board, and they're going to start to run into each other. And this is really important because this is what makes allies and enemies. You'll start combat phases, you'll start negotiating, and this is really the design and essence of the game, for you to interact with players and start making deals and making enemies.